Bitcoin hoodie guy coming back with another Kaspa video. Back from camping, was gone for 3 days. Nice to be back. Before we get any further, could you please Mike Tyson the like and subscribe button? We appreciate that. So we did get over the Trump pump with the Saturday. We did get over 19 cents, but we've pulled back. Market wasn't as excited about what Trump said. But you can see we're only down 5.6% from the all-time high. So compared to most altcoins, we're doing pretty good. Nothing new on the Casplex side on X. Hash rate, I know that that's been dripping over 600. Now we're at 567. The network is getting stronger and stronger. Most likely some miners prior to the Bitcoin halving started buying some Kaspa ASICs, and probably 3 months ago, once the halving happened, they started buying. And then when Mara launched that. So here, Fred Thiel, the CEO of Marathon, is talking about mining Bitcoin. He talked about we're also mining other stuff like Kaspa, and he talks about how with 1 kilowatt hour of energy, they're getting about 8 cents of a Bitcoin, 8 cents worth of Bitcoin. And with 1 kilowatt hour with Kaspa, they're getting $1 worth of Kaspa. So that, they're making a lot more money for the amount of energy they're using. Now, they just bought $100 million more Bitcoin. Doesn't mean they're all in on Kaspa, but what other mining operations? Yes, they're going to have to buy ASICs for Kaspa. That takes time, but obviously you can see that, some Bitcoin miners have been thinking about that because so here we were at the Bitcoin halving. April 19th was the hash rate was 225 petahashes at the time of the Bitcoin halving. And it's only been going up and up since then, but it's really since July 14th, the last 2 weeks, it's really kind of went more parabolic from 400 up to 600, basically 33% increase. It's pulled back. So you've constantly just had more people, more ASICs coming online, guys buying new rigs, upgrading. And, there's probably some Bitcoin miners we don't know about that have slowly been like, because really the petahash when Marathon Digital came online was 50 petahashes basically sometime in October. So it's did like a 12x almost the hash rate since then. But at the end of the day, those companies, everyone's just trying to make money. When I was down in Mar-A-Lago, I met some guys from Latvia that were Estonia that were mining Kaspa Bitcoin. They were doing Kaspa when they could do it with GPUs. We're still about 95% using Rust nodes. Nothing new there. Basically the same. We've dipped under 400,000 addresses. We were over that. And so with the mission schedule too, that's why KRC20, some of these smart contract things that KIA, Casplex is doing, is that eventually that reward is going to die off and the price of Kaspa should increase. But to keep this edge it has right now, this is going to need more transaction volume to help with the miners. With Trump, people had high expectations. He did talk about not selling any of the Bitcoin they have if he's in office and making a strategic, Bitcoin stockpile. But he also talks about cryptocurrency. He's not, even though it was at the Bitcoin conference, he talked about a lot of other political stuff, but he was also talking about cryptocurrency. I mean, he's got his NFTs on Polygon. We can look at those in a second. And that's what was kind of cool about when I was down there March 8th or May 8th. When we were down there May 8th for that gala dinner, my wife and I are not super into politics, but he talked about a lot of other stuff when he was an hour answering our questions there. But he talked a lot about crypto, and that seems like that was the big catalyst where, he's talking about ending the Federal Reserve, the SEC, stuff like that. And, obviously he's got his NFTs, he's got donations. A couple weeks after this at Mar-A-Lago, someone asked about donating in crypto. He's accepting that. He sees that there's money to be made there. And once someone can make money, then they really understand a little bit more what's going on. So you can see right here, the Trump digital trading cards. So that's what's crazy. A former president, maybe the leading candidate for this next election, has NFTs, and he's not Bitcoin centric. So, there's a lot of maxis that think the only thing will be on coin market cap So let's just check in. Gazi Kaspa, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, my buddy. Adam, thank you. Trump 2024. I put the link in this description if you want to watch an hour. He talks about other stuff. It was a small group, 100, 125 of us before the big gala dinner. And so, yeah, this is when basically it started coming out that Trump was more pro crypto at this, after some people clipped out some of what he said. I recorded basically the entire hour of him answering questions off the cuff. And so I think that if Trump wins and he gets in office and he starts implementing some of this, then I don't think it's priced in, to be honest with you. And I think Kaspa catches that wave, and it's a proof of work. So a lot of the money in Bitcoin and other people, so you have miners that might be wanting to try to catch some of this Kaspa wave, which in turn increases the hash rate, which makes this network stronger, more appealing. It does make it more competitive for miners. And eventually the price is going to catch up to the hash rate, in my opinion. Just a matter of time. And if we get KRC20s come online, I haven't really checked in with KIA, but out camping, so I was out of the loop. I did kind of pay attention a little bit to what Trump said. It was kind of hard not to pay attention. So yeah, there's, it's going to be a while before some of the stuff comes online, but I think we're between now and the peak of the bull market. Plus, I'm trying to understand what's going on in the crypto market and Kaspa and what I feel might be long term, because I want to take some profits, but if you think digital assets and decentralized blockchain or block DAG is going to be the future, then you want to keep some for long term. So that's part of my plan. Crypto Nate, thanks for tuning in. Just another good day back in the office, 3 days of camping. Kaspa looks like it had a good couple days. It's outperforming the market the last week. The last day, it's basically on course. People got overexcited about what Trump was going to say. I think with RFK saying that he'd buy 500 Bitcoin at 550 Bitcoin a day until they had millions of Bitcoin. I know after Trump was talked, Cynthia Loomis, the Republican from Wyoming, was saying that they should a bill. She's proposing a bill where they'll buy 500 or 400 or 500 Bitcoin a day until they have 1 million Bitcoin or something like that. For that, basically buy that many Bitcoin for the next 5 years. And it all ties back to Kaspa, especially when you have a decentralized proof of work. And so, I think we're in a really good position. It's going to be exciting. I'm overly not into politics that much. It's hard not to be with crypto right now being an issue. Apparently, Kamala Harris is trying to reset her relationship with the crypto, industry and people like that. There's a lot of people, and they're going to be voting with their their crypto bags, deciding who to vote for. And I think right now, RFK Jr. probably would be more bullish, maybe, but he's not going to win. He doesn't even have a chance. So it's going to be between Trump and whoever the Democratic candidate is. And I think Trump will be better for crypto, in my opinion. Yes, in this administration, you did get the ETFs, but it almost feels like BlackRock and Wall Street forced the hand. And there's that quick, 180-degree turn by Gary Gensler and the SEC on the Ethereum ETF. So I think it's exciting times. If you guys want to watch this hour-long video of the Q&A with Trump, I have that in the description of the video. And things are looking good. Hash rate is chugging along. Basically, you got a bunch of devs working on stuff in the background, and Kaspa is really not that far away from all-time highs. You compare it to XRP or Cardano or anything like that. And, you have probably most likely the next president who's already been president, with his own NFT collection. And he's talking about crypto, not just Bitcoin. And he wants to make the United States the world leader in crypto. A lot of people recognize this is the future. How exactly it's going to play out, which blockchain or block DAG exactly, we don't know. And that's why I'm diversified a little bit. And also just keep calculating in terms of how I'll take profit and what bags I'll keep long term for the next bull run. Sup, boss? First time here. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say regarding Kaspa. Kaspa Kings will be the next Bitcoin millionaires. Crypto Nate was hearing something about the U.S. buying 1 million BTC to wipe out the U.S. debt. Would it be smart since BTC is deflationary? Um, I'm mining the fuck out of Kaspa right now, making 9,000 Kaspa a month, man. Helium Hub Crypto Collective, you're killing it, buddy. That's going to be paying off. How was the campfire Kaspa stories? Not very good. The people I was camping with are not crypto people, so they want to retire early, but they're not into Bitcoin or Kaspa. Bitcoin people have heard of, so you can kind of sell them on that. Kaspa is you might as well be talking like foreign language or something to people. But yeah, here with Crypto Nate talking about the 1 million Bitcoin. I saw someone, a Bitcoin maxi, talking about how they can print money and buy Bitcoin. And since that money they printed, and it could be Caspa, Caspa's a long ways off. It needs to be uh, more accepted and larger and more liquidity. But if you buy something with a max supply like Bitcoin or Caspa, and you're printing money for it, but that money's not going into circulation, it's not necessarily going to make your groceries or rent more expensive because that money's not going to be fighting for those goods and services. But at the same time, it will be it'll be driving up the price of the Bitcoin or Caspa. So there's a lot of people throwing a lot of ideas out there. Obviously, with the national debt, it's getting out of crazy, and the all the countries have massive debt. This is what it's at right now, almost 35 trillion. A lot of money spent on Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, defense, interest. But when you go to the world debt clock, and I don't know how accurate this is, but um, this is showing China $14 trillion in debt, Japan 13 trillion. If you add this up, it's crazy. Mexico almost a trillion, Korea, Ireland. Well, I guess Ireland's only 343 billion, but you can see Canada 2.3 trillion. So Canada, is really not that big of a country, only 38 million people. Brazil 2 trillion. Actually that's where Russia's doesn't, for 150 million, it doesn't have that huge a debt, only 400 billion. Saudi Arabia doesn't have a ton of debt in relations. Spain almost $2 trillion in debt. So what fiat currency do you want? You don't want it. We all know that. We're all on the same team there. So that's why the more I spend covering Casper, the more I'm liking it long term. And it's, sometimes, yeah, we might, and depending on if you're mining it and you're bought early in this cycle, bear market, then you would get rich pretty quick. But a lot of the stuff is get rich slowly. And it's the people that, have the patience and they're not selling when there's panic in the market. So I guess that's all I got for today. Things are looking good. We're really not that far away from the all-time high. We got potentially the first crypto president going to be in there. We got KRC20, Casplex working in the background, KIA working on their magic in the background, hash rate growing through the roof. And, the world is getting more in debt and people are tired and starting to realize inflation is a tax on the working man. And if you want to try to hedge that, you're going to have to go into some digital assets like Kaspa and Bitcoin. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay bullish and have a good day.